Rehabilitation services. Is rehabilitation services equal for disabled adults? Is it equal for special education students? The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, passed by the United States Congress in 1975, is intended, quote, to ensure that all children with disabilities have available to them a free, appropriate public education that emphasizes special education-related services designed to meet their unique needs and prepare them for further education, employment, and independent living. Title 20 of the United States Code, Chapter 33. Special education from the student point of view. I was in special education in elementary school and middle school, experienced the consequences of it in high school and beyond. I'm David Potter. I survived special education, not a joke. Rehabilitation services. Is rehabilitation services equal for disabled adults? Let's look at Title 29 of the United States Code, Chapter 16. Section 723, lowercase a, vocational rehabilitation services for individuals. Vocational rehabilitation services provided under the subchapter are any services described in an individualized plan for employment necessary to assist an individual with a disability in preparing for, securing, retaining, or regaining an employment outcome that is consistent with the strengths, resources, priorities, concerns, abilities, capabilities, interests, and informed choice of the individual, including what needs to change in the law. I have no problem with those desiring these services. I oppose it being forced upon people. Also, individualized plan for employment is a name similar to individualized education plan. Is this available to non-disabled people too? What does the law say? 1. An assessment for determining eligibility and vocational rehabilitation needs by qualified personnel, including, if appropriate, an assessment by personnel skilled in rehabilitation technology. What needs to change in the law? For those who may not actually need it or desire it, it is more of the same. What does the law say? 2. Counseling and guidance, including information and support services, to assist an individual in exercising informed choice consistent with the provisions of Section 722, lowercase d, of this title. What needs to change in the law? As long as it is enforced, I have no problem with this. It isn't for everyone qualified for rehabilitation services. What does the law say? 3. Referral and other services to secure needed services from other agencies through agreements developed under Section 721, lowercase a, 11 of this title, if such services are not available under this subchapter. 4. Job-related services, including job search and placement assistance, job retention services, follow-up services, and follow-along services. What needs to change in the law? This can be done without rehabilitation services unless a referral is required. What does the law say? Skipping 5 through 14. 15. Transition services for students with disabilities that facilitate the transition from school to post-secondary life, such as achievement of an employment outcome in competitive integrated employment or pre-employment transition services. Skipping 16 through 18. 19. Services to the family of an individual with a disability necessary to assist the individual to achieve an employment outcome. And 20. Specific post-employment services necessary to assist an individual with a disability to retain, regain, or advance in employment. What needs to change in this law? I do not oppose this for those who need it and desire it. I oppose being forced into this situation. What services to the family? How does this law impact my life? My mom signed me up for rehabilitation services, which had an office near the family home, essentially forcing me to go to it. During my time there, two significant events happened. 1. Job tour. My group was offered I Survived t-shirts about the job tour. Myself and one other person rejected it. This is the real origin of this podcast title, I Survived Special Education, not a joke. 2. Psychologist. I'll just say that this made me to decide to never return. Rehabilitation services is special education for job seekers. Those who want it may benefit from it. There's no benefit to someone forced into it. 4 years out of high school resembled high school for me. Of course, there's no individualized education program, but there is an individualized plan for employment, which is apparently requires a diagnosis. This proves that even with the break from special education and related services during high school, there is no escape from it. I left the state in 2017 and made more progress in 4 years in California than I did 40 years before the move.
Is it equal for special education students? Is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act working as intended? Is it preparing disabled students for further education, employment, and independent living? Visit the website at notajoke.net. I'm David Powder. I survived special education, not a joke.